and now Brigham Young, but now our main core athletic director in Mack Rhoades joins us. So you have this thing going on tomorrow, right? This Mitch Thompson deal. I know that you were kind of away from it for a while. You kind of put that to bed, and your thoughts and the reaction to Mitch Thompson.
Well, I'm excited for Baylor University. I'm excited for Baylor athletics and our baseball program. We've got rich history and tradition in baseball, and the program certainly means a lot to many. And we've got a lot of former student athletes that really care about the program, and I'm grateful for that. We've got a lot of fans and friends and others that care about the program. And from what I'm told, because as you know, I'm not sitting on social media, that people are excited, and I'm excited for Mitch because it means something when it's that person's dream job, and I think Mitch will tell you that this has been his dream job for a long time, and he now gets the opportunity to lead the program, and I think he's going to do a great job, and look and expect for us to for our baseball program to be nationally relevant every year, and also understand that that's not going to happen right away. That's gonna take some time, but really excited about the future.
You have promoted from within when coaches have either left or they have moved on for whatever reasons. You have hired from, of course, on the outside. This is the first time, though, I believe, that you dug into the past. You mentioned one of the reasons because this was Mitch's dream job, and Steve Smith brought that up to us last week about 2008. Is that important also to be able to go back into the past? Was the timing right to also re-energize maybe some in fundraising, donors, et cetera?
Yeah, it really is it's a smart question, and I appreciate it. And I think, those things are ancillary to the process. And so, if you can check those boxes, they're important, but the crux of it, the foundation of it is, hire the best person. Hire, who you believe is the best person to lead, in this case, young men. And we told our baseball student athletes, look, this is not a baseball head coach search. This is a leader of young men search. And so I think we did that. And, I told Mitch and he'll would tell you the same thing, that when we first spoke, and part of our process is doing phone interviews. I'm on the phone with the candidates 45 minutes to an hour. I told them, look, hey, I know that you've got a lot of people in your corner, but just know this, that none of those people can get this job for you. None of them can. The only person that can get this job for you is you, Mitch. And so obviously through the process, he earned it. And, again, I go back to, obviously it's generated a lot of excitement. And I think those are all things that are really, really positive and will help the program moving forward. But, Mitch got this job because he was the best baseball coach that we interviewed, and leader of young men.
Mack, I know that one of the things that he can put on his resume is he's a fantastic recruiter. We know what he did at MCC, recruiting at the JUCO level and getting a corner on that talent in a great baseball state like Texas, and even going beyond the borders of the state. But going back to his tenure at Baylor, this is a guy who put major leaguers Jason Jennings, Max Muncy, David Murphy, among several others in the program at 11.7 scholarships. How much of that ability to recruit with the changing world that we talked about a couple weeks ago with you on the show of the equivalency sports and college baseball, with if he can recruit that well, 11.7, if he gets the chance at full scholarships, and now there's also NIL out there for players, that Mitch Thompson can really make a splash really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's one of his greatest assets. And, sometimes when you're great at something like recruiting, you get pigeonholed. And, quite frankly, that was something that I needed to explore with Mitch, because I didn't know Mitch very, very well, but, because he's been such a prolific recruiter, and obviously that's the lifeblood of every program. And, you think about the state of Texas and just the unbelievable amount of talent within this state. And, he has relationships with many people within the state. That was really, really important. But what I don't want to get lost is Mitch is a pretty dang good baseball coach. He's not just a recruiter. He built a program at MCC. I think obviously as a recruiter, he's got a keen eye, great eye for talent. But he also has had a propensity for developing that talent. And I think, whether it's in the dugout or coaching third base, he can manage the game in game. So all of those things, put together a staff, lead a staff. And so, yes, he's a what I would, probably phrase an elite recruiter, but he's much, much more than just that.
Mack, I know that we'll get to hear from Mitch tomorrow, and we'll get to get into more details, but what do you think are a couple of the main things right out of the gates for Baylor baseball in the Mitch Thompson era? Would it have to do, I guess, with the roster? And I know there's hires and stuff to be made, but what are kind of the big things right up front for Baylor baseball in your mind?
Yeah, I think obviously you said it, Craig, that roster management is first and foremost. And, look, you're going to have to re-recruit the current roster and connect with the current roster in a short time, amount of time. And it's hard because, most of them are out playing, they're playing summer ball, so they're not here in Waco. So you're trying to do that as best you can via Zoom or via team. And then, you've got the incoming class, the new recruits that you're trying to do the same. So those are two things that I know that he's really worked hard at and is still working on, and has spent, countless hours again on the phone or on Zoom or Teams. And then, he's got to get some help. And I think, a close second right behind the roster is hiring your staff, and he's in that process, and we'll be able to turn out some new staff members here in the very near future. So, again, excited about that as well. So those are the things. I think at some point in time, third on the list, it's connecting with other people within the athletic department. And then, it's reaching out to certainly former players and community. But, he's got to be locked in, really on the roster for the moment.
Mack, Steve Smith joined us last week, and I know that we know the story. We know how that ended. We know that wasn't a good thing. And then all of a sudden yesterday or last week, he unveiled his guts to us about how much he loved the Mitch Thompson hire and mentioned on occasion how much he appreciates everything that you're doing as well. How important is it, or does it matter, that there has been some healing in a way because of this hire. Not that this was why you hired Mitch, you've made that clear, but there has been some healing.
Yeah, I think it's important. I think as a family, it's really hard, to move forward and to have success if it's broken. And I didn't know Coach Smith, and just being really, really frank, really hadn't taken the time to get to know him my first 5 years here, just with all the craziness that had been going on. I had heard good things about him, but we had an opportunity to meet and to visit when we brought back the 2012 team for the Texas Tech series, and we had a chance to talk, and I had an opportunity to thank him, rightly so, for all of the great things that he did while he was the head baseball coach. He's not going to tell you this, but we talked a couple times during the search process. It was important. I don't know. It was just important to communicate with him, and I appreciate him. I know that Mitch really, really appreciates him, and so this baseball program moves forward with Mitch leading it, but we also need Steve Smith as a part of it as well, and so I think we're headed in that direction.
Mack, with the official announcement of